somehow, some way, the Indianapolis Colts get a big-time win at home in Lucas Oil Stadium versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, you heard that right. The Colts went from rock bottom the week before to sky high the week after. How does this happen? How do the Colts do it? You know, it wasn't a pretty game for the Colts. It wasn't a pretty game for the Chiefs. Colts were the team that just came out on top. You know, it was kind of a slugfest between two teams that are having a terrible day. Matt Ryan under duress all game. John Taylor not finding much room to run because the offensive line is garbage. Wide receivers making some big plays. Rookie tight end Jelani Woods with the big-time day. Beautiful. You know, even though this Colts team made a lot of mistakes, you know, right from the beginning, I'm like, yeah, it's not going to be good at the end because we're making all these little mistakes. We're shooting ourselves in the foot. Well, Colts defense came to play. Colts defense put a lot of pressure on that offense on Patrick Mahomes and made him struggle. Patrick Mahomes and Eric Bieniemy were not getting along. Colts were causing some issues. Now, were there some things that bounced in the right direction for the Colts? Yeah. You know that kicker is something Amendola. Terrible kicker, but that's how we felt week one. And this week we had a kicker that made his kicks. And, special teams was a difference. It wasn't offense, it wasn't defense. The offense ultimately wins you games, but special teams kept us in the game. Colts start, they go 3 and out. Sky Moore muffs a punt, and the Colts are at the 4-yard line knocking on the door already. Matt Ryan tosses it up over the top for Jelani Woods for the first touchdown of the game. And from there on, it was just like a slugfest. Back and forth, these little jabs, but then, one step forward, and then a turnover. Some ridiculous sloppy play was happening, Don't forget that Chris Jones got in Matt Ryan's face, yapping on the ground, yapping when he got up, and the ref called it. I don't know what he said. I would like to know what he said. I'd love to know what he said, but, both teams had a rough day. But the Colts ultimately came out the end. They took that half of that fourth quarter. They took it, and they just punched it in. And then at the end of the game, Rodney McLeod, Stephon Gilmore makes a play. We paid Stephon Gilmore to come in here and make a play. He tipped the ball, and Rodney McLeod intercepts the ball for the game-stealing interception. So, some takeaways from the game is the offensive line is still garbage. Alec Pierce bounced back in a big way. Alec Pierce, it's very difficult when you have that bad of a week one and you have all week to think about it. You're in that concussion protocol. You have all week to think, and that's not good. He didn't have a chance to come right back, but he came back versus the Chiefs at home in a much bigger atmosphere than versus Jacksonville. So this offensive line needs to get together, though. Pinner is garbage. Pinner is getting pushed around so much that I'm not comfortable with Pinner in there against anyone. I don't care if it was against Chris Jones. It was anyone. Anyone and everyone was pushing around Danny Pinner. Get Pinner out of there. Stop watching Pinner get beat like that. Sign someone. We know that's not going to happen, but the Colts still need to change some things. They can't look at this game and be like, oh, we're just about there. I kind of liked how Frank Reich was in the presser today. He was a little different. Like, you could feel it. He was giving some accountability to players. Didn't really see it on the field too much, but Frank Reich seemed a little different. We're going to see if it continues, though. The Colts shot themselves in the foot a lot today. It just happened that they came out on top versus one of the best teams in the NFL. For some reason, it always seems that the Chiefs struggle against the Colts. But I can't give you a real, in-depth conversation about this game until tomorrow. I got to watch the condensed game, got to go through some tape, and then ultimately see what's going on. But from the raw footage, what I saw the game today, Danny Pinner sucked, Matt Pryor sucked, Quentin Nelson did okay. But this Colts team still needs to figure out a way to attack these blitzes. There needs to be some communication. Matt Ryan needs to communicate. Ryan Kelly needs to communicate. Someone needs to take accountability, step up, and communicate that there's a blitz on the way. You need to communicate. You're not going to stop a blitz. You're not going to block well if you don't communicate. So I hope Bernard Raymond is ready for next week. I hope they plug Raymond in at left tackle and they put Pryor at right guard. That's my ideal starting line. I don't want Pryor at left tackle. He still sucks at left tackle. But we need Bernard Raymond over there at left tackle. We need him learning. We need him getting his valuable reps. Even if he's struggling, I'd rather Bernard Raymond struggle than Matt Pryor struggle. Because Bernard Raymond is going to have valuable struggling reps when he has a lot of potential that he could learn from. Matt Pryor, he really has reached his ceiling. He's not going to get much better. Bernard Raymond has a chance to get much better. He has the traits. He has the ability to be a very good football player. Matt Pryor could be an average football player over at right guard. You know, I think the Colts, maybe French, maybe Fries could try that spot out because can't get much worse than Pinner. I've said the whole offseason, I'm not high on Pinner. I never thought Pinner was going to be the answer at right guard. Chris Ballard just wanted to stay in-house. He didn't want to pay the extra money for Chris Reed or Mark Lewinsky. And you got Pinner. So there's still things that we need to worry about in the future. But for now, Colts Nation, we'll talk about it more during the week. But for now, let's enjoy this win. Let's take the rest of tonight. Enjoy this win. You know, if you're over 21, you're old enough, pop open a cold one. I'm not. I can't. I'm only 18. I could pop open a nice Gatorade, a nice cold Gatorade, and I will do that. Watch some Sunday Night Football. Enjoy the game tonight, knowing that your team won. Go to sleep tonight knowing that your game won. Have a good day at work, school tomorrow, knowing that the Colts won. Then after that, it's on to Tennessee. We need to have our eyes set on Tennessee. We need to focus on these little things. Frank Reich, good day. Okay? Even though the team really shot themselves in the foot a lot and they still weren't ready. It was a good win for this team to get some confidence to get some excitement going in the franchise. It's what they needed. They needed a boost of energy. And if Leonard's back next week, beautiful. You know, that's even better. So Gilmore with a hamstring, hopefully he's okay. He came back in the second half. I'm sure he'll be fine. Julian Blackmon, we'll see how he does, but Ronnie Thomas looked good when he came in. Ronnie Thomas looked fine. I liked Ronnie Thomas out there. Anybody else that really went down? I don't think so. But Jelani Woods needs more time. We saw that today. Jelani Woods caught 2 touchdowns. Matt Ryan threw 2 touchdowns. Jelani Woods caught 2 touchdowns. He's a big-time target. Keep focusing on him. Keep focusing on those players that are going to make big plays. You know, Frank, we know you're smart. We know you know how to call a football game. But don't overthink yourself. You did okay today. You know, you kept your team in it. And you were a little different than pressure, I can tell. But you are on a very short leash. I can't believe I'm giving Frank Reich another kind of opportunity here. But, I mean, if they can get something figured out the rest of the season, if they could have a strong rest of the season, Frank Reich makes some changes, has Bernard starting at left tackle, I'm going to have a little bit of belief in Frank Reich just because of his rah-rah speech. And I hope he keeps some players accountable this week in practice. I feel a little different about Frank Reich now. And it's easy to because you win. But it's just stay wary. Stay wary. You know, we know this team could come out and be crap. You know, we saw the Jaguars put a beating on the Chargers, so maybe the Jaguars are much better. Still don't want to come out like you did last week, but maybe the Jaguars are a good football team. They looked like a good football team today. So, some raw emotions, just from what I saw out there in the field. You know, nothing too in-depth, nothing too crazy. That's going to be coming out tomorrow or Tuesday. Hopefully Monday night. I'll see if I go live and talk about it a little bit, see how much time I have in StreamYards, but that's all I got for you today. Just talking about the game a little bit, recapping it a little bit. Tell me what you guys think. You know, Alec Pierce bounced back. Pittman had an okay game. Wasn't crazy. Jelani Woods had his breakout game. JT didn't have a big game, but he didn't have much room to run. He didn't have much room to go. Offensive line still stinks. Yeah, so this is it from JDW today. Like I said, enjoy this one. Because tomorrow afternoon, at around 6 o'clock, 6 p.m., we have to change our sights onto Tennessee. We have to focus on Tennessee. So thank you for tuning in to the JDW Sports Talk Show. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, put that post notification bell on. You won't be disappointed. A lot of good stuff goes on around here. NFL predictions, Colts videos throughout the week. A lot of stuff going on. So thank you for tuning in. This is JDW Sports Talk Show, signing off.